Yeah, just like he said, if you were fully vaccinated, you no longer need to wear a mask. And it seems
in Havana, where COVID cases and deaths have surged here despite the Cuban government's claims that they've done a good job handling the pandemic.
You want to come after me, come after me. Don't come after 9 and 10 years. You know, he was there for one day. They said they want to take a picture. Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's going on, the BBs? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Mujahed Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi Bros. Welcome to another episode of the Habibi Power Hour. And we don't want to waste any more time. Let's get them right in here. Steezy, what's good? Welcome, Habibi. Welcome to the show. Stephen L. Miller, for those who are not aware, he is the host of, what is it?
No, I'm gonna make you say it. I'm gonna make you remember it.
It's like I actually gotta look this up because I just know it's a media it's versus media podcast.
It's just a media podcast. He hosts a media podcast.
I thought it was I thought it was like us versus media, but it's
good night, guys.
Media.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us, Stephen Miller, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. That was Stephen L. Miller, everyone.
All right. So how you been doing, Siraj?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Great.
Yeah. I guess this was our shortest episode, lasting only 69 seconds.
Nice. Hey, at least it's still nice. You know, as long as we keep it nice.
Yes. So Stephen L. Miller, you can find him on Twitter at RedSteez. He is the creator and host of Versus Media Podcast, which you can find on Patreon at patreon.com/Miller versus Media. Jay, the last time we had him on the show, we couldn't stop confusing him for that bald-headed fuck, Stephen Miller, who is now on Twitter.
Wait a minute. Do we not? That's not the one we have on.
Wait, what? Oh,
I thought we're having.
He must have
the
gotten
more
hair implants.
I'm the more Muslim-hating one.
Oh, I didn't even think that was possible.
That is very difficult to top. Right.
Do you guys miss that cast of characters? Do you miss Steve Bannon? Like, do you remember that first trip that they all took to like Saudi Arabia? And Steve Bannon is in the middle of like these dancing sheiks, and he just looked so uncomfortable. Like he just was like,
yeah. It looked like he got scared one time when somebody was like coming. He's like,
yeah, he thought he was going to get beheaded right there.
Right.
It's that Sharia. He knew it was creeping. No, you know what's so funny is that
or the globe, the hand globe thing. We're never gonna get stuff like that ever again.
We might in 2024.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
could happen.
One could hope, one can pray for it, but sadly we are left to the devices of a president who I don't know if
where he is at this moment.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I don't know if he realizes he's actually president right now. So President Biden gave a press conference on Thursday, the day that we're recording this, and shit hit the fan. Let me play a few clips.
Mr. President, you said earlier this week that we are not headed back towards lockdowns, but if the science is evolving, how can you be so confident in that? We heard you say weeks ago that the virus was on the run, but Dr. Fauci has also indicated that we are headed in the wrong direction.
Well, you're literally correct on everything you said, but it doesn't come to the conclusion you're implying. It is clear that if everybody's vaccinated, the existing vaccines work to prevent death, serious illness, hospitalization. Okay? If tomorrow I could wave a wand and every American was vaccinated, then in fact we'd be out of the woods. Now, can something else happen a year from now? Can there be a different virus? Can there be something? It's possible. But I'm talking about COVID and the existing variants that have come forward so far. So it's a simple proposition. If you're vaccinated, you find yourself in a situation where you are highly unlikely, even if you somehow get the virus, very small percentage do, that you are not going to be hospitalized, you're not going to be on a ventilator, you're not going to be sick, but you could be in a position to possibly spread it to someone who wasn't if you have it in you.
Every single time I forget to stop that clip sooner than expected.
They're going to sue you for that.
I mean, at this point, it will be literally Islamophobia if they do. But I will say this: it is kind of interesting how this entire week has just been a fucking circus, and that is an understatement of the century. And I'm only going to play one more clip of this whole thing, and then we're going to discuss. But literally, this kind of surmises how fucking batshit crazy everything is.
Mr. President, you said if you are fully vaccinated, you no longer need to wear a mask. And it seems I haven't said
If you're fully vaccinated in an area where we do not have, so let me clarify.
in May, you made it sound like a vaccine was the ticket to losing the mask forever. And
That is true at the time, because I thought there were people who were going to understand that getting vaccinated made a gigantic difference. And what happened was, the new variant came along, they didn't get vaccinated, it was spread more rapidly, and more people were getting sick. That's the difference.
Again, I'm going to get
You just said. It was.
Are people paying for this?
Yeah.
You know,
They pay for the boomerness of it too.
I think they realize how boomer I am, and so it's almost endearing at this point. But Steez, I mean, what the fuck? If you are vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask, unless, and then I don't even know where to start with this shit.
I have a theory about all of this, and this is tinfoil hat time. And I was talking with a couple of people about this. I have a theory about how all of this happened, and I think that this is like it was like a small lie that has just now blown up into everyone's going to have to wear masks. So here's the kookiest theory I have on this. So you guys remember the Texas Democrats, right?
Yep.
They got on an airplane. They flew an airplane into the Capitol, much like 9/11. Except you could argue this was worse because they actually reached the target. There were no brave souls to stop you fuckers from carrying out your plan. So they get on the plane. They're full of COVID and Miller Lite. And they're going around the Capitol, and they're all over Kamala. Nobody fucking believes for a second that was a routine visit to Walter Reed on a Sunday morning. Nobody. Nobody believes that. So odds are the vice president went and got a COVID test, most likely. You have Nancy Pelosi's office has people who are now testing positive, and God knows how many people at the White House that we don't know because Jen Psaki won't tell us and the press doesn't care. So here's my wildest theory about why all of this is happening. That when it found out that the Texas Democrats, which was 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When they found out that they were testing positive for COVID, they lied about their vaccine status. So when somebody got in touch with them, either in Congress or at the White House or a PR firm, or someone was like, you have COVID? And they're like, yeah, well, I have COVID. And they're, how are you not vaccinated? And they went, I'm vaccinated. I don't know what the problem is. This just happened. It must have broke through. When actually, I'm willing to guarantee you 7 of those 10 Democrats were not vaccinated. But we know how that would look. We know the optics of that. Well, Joe Biden, and they're trying to blame Fox News for killing people, and your Republican country bumpkin MAGA boomer uncling wherever on Facebook for killing people. We know how bad the optics would look if it came out that the Texas Democrats weren't vaccinated as they flew to Washington, D.C., and committed a bioterror attack all over Washington, D.C. That's my kookiest theory. I don't have proof. I'm just saying my kookiest theory in all of this is that this is a result of unvaccinated Democrats lying about their vaccination status, and now it's just gotten blown out of control. So now it's shit. We have breakthrough cases. We have to put masks on everyone. We have to mask up at the baseball games, all because you had like 7 Texas Dems who were sitting there going like this.
And again, it's not that kooky when you think about how in Washington, D.C., of all places, their vaccination rate, fully vaccinated, as of July 28th is 55%.
Yeah, this was my favorite thing today. Biden came out and gave statistics that directly contradicted the mayor of Washington, D.C.'s order.
Yeah.
And not one of these useless idiots in the White House press room thought to ask that. They didn't even ask him if Biden had read or been in contact with the mayor of Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
The thing I think you guys know that I've been on the craw about today is, so today was our first day where people in the White House briefing room are back in masks, and they're all sitting there and they're in masks and they're whatever. And then Karine Jean-Pierre comes in and she's not wearing a mask. And not one of these shameless professional idiots goes, "How come you're not wearing a mask?" We're all wearing them. Is this not the order in DC? Somebody told me this doesn't start until Saturday because the virus is just taking the next 2 days off. I don't know.
It's just like the Cleveland Indians changing their name to the Guardians. It's a name so
the racist Guardians.
The racist Guardians,
right?
Because
they're
name,
all. It's
a
all
name
white.
so offensive they have to wait until next season to change it.
Yeah, but if it is a racist name, what they did, they're committing Native American erasure after 4 statues that are Art Deco style, which came about in white European France. And each of these statues are holding in their hands a mode of colonialism. One is a covered wagon. Need I say more? One is a cement truck. Well, we know that highways are racist now. One is an automobile. Now we know that, many people
Pollution
of color
from
in this
cars.
country, they can't afford cars. So
And the pollution from cars only go to black neighborhoods.
Yeah, right. It's killing the climate as well. So they erased a proud native mascot for a Art Deco white Anglo-European statue, and at a time when we should be tearing these statues down. Instead, we're honoring them now at a place called Progressive Field. Not very progressive. But you notice, like, Biden completely contradicts the mayor. And again, you have a press corps that is just completely abdicated their duty in all of this. This isn't hard. You just have to ask her, why aren't you wearing a mask? What is she going to say? I'm vaccinated? Well, yeah, vaccinated people are wearing masks now. My theory to this was kind of confirmed. I have a theory of why they're doing this. And actually, this one's not kooky. This one isn't half conspiratorial. They're essentially trying to punish vaccinated people to get them angry at unvaccinated people. And a great excuse is, and one of my podcast subbers brought this up, is Gunnery Sergeant Hartman in Full Metal Jacket. So he teaches the platoon. They're trying to fix Gomer Pyle, right? They're trying to, because he's falling behind and he's costing the squad, he's costing the whatever. And he's like, from now on, I'm not going to punish him because you are failing. You are failing to punish this guy to get him up to speed. I'm going to punish you from here on out. And that's what this strategy is. It's essentially saying
punishment.
We're going to
100%.
We're punishing vaccinated people in the name of getting them angry at the unvaccinated, hoping that because I'm vaxxed, I'm going to go to my neighbor's door and knock on his door and be like, "Are you fucking vaccinated or not, you motherfucker?" And which is a good way to get shot, by the way.
Right.
And that's all this is. This isn't uniting. This is dividing people. This is going to make people angrier. And you're also going to see vaccinations probably flatline, because I cannot think of a worse message of get the vaccine and keep wearing a mask. And it's crazy. This is lunacy. And not a single one of those stiff-necked tie assholes at the Washington Post or the New York Times or anywhere, Reuters, AP, anywhere in the White House briefing room has any curiosity about any of this. We're going to talk about George P. Bush losing in a Texas AG primary race because Trump endorsed Trump. But we're not going to talk about how, like, they're throwing masks on people and no one is going, hold on, stop, wait a second, wait, hold on, wait, no, there's no science. What's the science here? Oh, this is based on a study in India, which isn't all of it, but that was part of it. And not one of these useless fucking people is stopping to just go, huh? And that's mainly because they agree with the Biden administration. These are the reporters with kids in Washington, D.C. and New York are the people who have their kids masked on playgrounds. And so they're just like, hey, we're going to go along with this. This is great.
Right.
The good news is, I guess if you're on the right, the good news is this leads to about a 40-state wipeout in 2024.
Yeah. No, I honestly think it's going to happen. One of the biggest things that I see at it is when Biden was saying that this is because of a ratio of vaccinated and unvaccinated. So why is the White House implementing the max again? So are there anti-vaxxers in the White House right now? Is there a ratio in the White House? Is there not 100% vaccinated people in the White House? Why are people in the White House?
Here's the other problem. So they said they're going to, in government agencies and federal agencies, they're going to implement masks, right? Mm-hmm. And they say, but we're not, you have to provide proof of your vaccination, which means if I walk into the VA or wherever, and I'm like, meh, and my manager comes up to me, like Lumberg comes up to me, yeah, we're going to need to see a vaccination proof, you know. And so if I go, okay, here's my Vax card, shows it, they're still going to say, yeah, we're still going to need you to wear a mask. So you're not actually going to know who is and who isn't vaccinated. You're not going to know. So everyone's walking around in a mask. Nobody knows who's vaccinated, which means you don't actually know if your cubicle buddy over here is vaxxed or not. All this is going to do is fucking spread paranoia and piss people off.